Last week, Mohammed el Erian, the president of Queens College, appeared on CNN and predicted a massive financial crisis in the United States in 2022. As the president of Queens College and the former CEO of Pimco, ElErian is a respected voice in an otherwise corrupt financial world. In today's video, we break down his bearish prediction and look into the possibility of a recession in the world's greatest superpower, America. We will talk in detail about what ElErian explained regarding America and why it is entering a terrible financial crisis in 2022. But before we get into Mohammed's latest TV appearance, we need to clear something up. America's financial future is largely dependent on policies pushed out by the federal government. You see, the United States has had the greatest bull market in history over the last 15 years. While some may attribute the majority of this to innovation and productivity, there is a large asterisk attached to this unprecedented growth. See, what makes the bull run so bullish is that it happened at a time when interest rates were near zero and the government was injecting trillions of dollars into the economy, all artificially to ensure that every crash was averted. These actions have created a parabolic stock market that has made a lot of people a lot of money. They have also created an environment where buying the dip is almost a sure bet, because stocks only go up when the Federal Reserve is on your side during every crisis. Even a historic pandemic couldn't bring this market down. But there was one thing that many people overlooked in 2018 that proved to be this market's weakness, which started the domino effect of its downfall. Most people have missed this massive lemon test, which has confirmed our worst fears. We saw something in 2018 that proved what everyone was afraid of. Starting at the end of 2015, the Federal Reserve began raising rates for the first time in years. These were small increases, taking the rate from essentially zero in December 2015 to 2.27 in December 2018. But why did these numbers matter? Because in 2018, these four small rate hikes essentially caused a mini recession. The S&P 500 returned minus 7% that year, and there was a massive stock market drop in December. This event demonstrated that even a small rate hike was enough to bring down a healthy market before the coronavirus. Now, this brings us to ElErian, whose most recent analysis is extremely bearish. He believes that inflation has proven to be higher and more persistent than many expected, and central banks find it difficult to remain ultra-stimulative when inflation is a concern. His opinion was that soft infrastructure is just as important as hard infrastructure in terms of increasing labor force participation, supply responsiveness, and productivity in the economy, but that has become irrelevant due to politics. The Fed has repeatedly denied the threat of inflation, but now that the tide has turned, not only has it become much more difficult to ignore, but Mr. Powell's job is also secure. We see the Federal Reserve finally acknowledging the problem that has been in their face the entire time, something that they had previously ignored or downplayed in front of its people. Now, to tie it all together, we saw an almost 20% drop towards the end of the year. We've already seen this test before, and the American market failed miserably last time. Since then, things have only gotten worse fundamentally, and another round of rate hikes will end in the exact same way, especially given the extreme geopolitical pressures out there. The stock market is toast without the Fed support, and despite analyst denials, the proof is right in front of your eyes. All you have to do is look back and see if the Federal Reserve does indeed raise rates to control inflation, and things will become ugly very quickly. When pressed by CNBC, ElErian emphasizes this point.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see much more fiscal and monetary action going forward, and I think the marketplace has to get used to this. It was easy to put aside all the economic concerns, all the COVID concerns, all the geopolitical concerns, because we had almost guaranteed injections of liquidity. They were massive and they were predictable. What is changing is you can no longer bet on that. And now the market has to realize that they have to price in fundamentals and they have to differentiate much more between names. So this is going to be a very different year, 2022, than 2021 was.
Jay Powell is torn between raising the rate and destroying the economy, or keeping it at zero and inflating the dollar. So far, he's always chosen the latter, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. Also, there are numerous reasons for the Fed to continue printing, including geopolitical pressures and new variants. No sane politician or influential person with billions riding on the stock market would ever put an end to it. In either case, the options are bleak. Either end it and face depression, or keep it going and deal with a massive inflation hangover in the future. Thank you for watching. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. See you in our next video.